Hey, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about the movie Still Waiting. Okay, so this movie, I'm pretty darn sure it was direct to DVD. A lot of direct to DVD sequels get a bad rap, but I'm going to be 100% honest with you all. I had a good time with this movie. I mean, it was fun as a comedy. It succeeded. It was funny. I thought the jokes were good. They didn't fall flat. They were fun. They were funny. It like made me laugh out loud a couple times. And something else that's cool about this. Okay, so yeah, that's like the main thing. It's a comedy. The comedy worked. That's all we need. Um, of course, it wasn't as good as the first one. And yeah, like the quality wasn't there, but like I said, I think it's a direct to DVD sequel. The budget's not there. You don't have you don't have all the returning cast members, but you do have quite a few returning cast members, which is what I was just saying. Like I wanted to point out. Um, I was surprised how many returning cast members there were, because sometimes like with sequels, especially with direct to DVD sequels, I mean, you know, the like people who start off in these movies, they go on to have bigger careers. They're not going to come back for, something that like they think is below them. It's like maybe like the pay or the notoriety isn't there. They're at like a higher status now, so they're not going to come back. So that happens all the time. You'll see like recastings and this and that. I was like pleasantly surprised with how many returning people there were. The cook from the first one, Radimus, he's in it. Who else is in it? The girl, what's her name? Naomi? The girl who's like totally two-faced and just like burnt out and always just like screaming in the back and like, hey, how are you? Naomi, she's in this. Andy Milonakis is back. T-Dog is back. Um, who else? Justin Long makes a little appearance. The original manager from the first one, Dan, makes a little appearance. The dude Kelvin, who's scared to piss in public, is like kind of one of the main characters in this. Who else? The girl who Ryan Reynolds' character is like about to get with. She has like a small scene, like a little cameo, and then Bishop, like the kind of wise dishwasher guy, he makes a cameo. So maybe I forgot to mention some people, but I mean, right, like you just heard me list like quite a few names. Like there's a lot of returning people. They didn't like recast the old characters. They just had new characters. Instead, it was like it was the same franchise, but like a different location, like a different, restaurant. Um, so yeah, it was pretty solid. And I'm not like a hater of direct to DVD movies. There's like a lot of direct to DVD movies that I enjoy. Like, okay, I'm a big like horror fan, slasher fan. A lot of franchises, eventually go direct to DVD. Like that's just how it goes. I mean, Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3 are direct to video, and I mean those are like top tier in my opinion. There's so many other ones like Wrong Turn 2. I'm a big fan of. And then in terms of like non-horror direct to DVD movies, like the American Pie Presents like spin-off movies, I enjoy all those. I think those are like they're pretty fun, they're solid. So I'm not a hater of direct to DVD stuff, and I didn't go into this with huge expectations. I didn't think it was going to be as good as the first. It wasn't. It wasn't as. It didn't have as much heart. Like the story wasn't as memorable. It wasn't as relatable. The first one was really relatable, and you really like. I can really like feel for Dean in the first one. Oh, it's something I want to talk about. Like his cameo. This is like total spoiler alert. his cameo, like I said, I liked this movie, but that was one part that I didn't like. His cameo made me sad, cause you know, I'm rooting for him the whole first movie, and then you know he's a young guy, he's getting out of the restaurant business, he's gonna go do something, and then in this one he's just super cynical, he's depressed, he's like a total a-hole. He's like he like still works for Shenanigans because I guess he was like unemployed for a little bit after he quit, and then some other he like went to work for some other steakhouse that got bought out by Shenanigans, and now he's in like upper management. Like Dan, the manager from the first one, is like district manager or something like that, and then Justin Long's character is like above that. So, but he's like, so he like still works for Shenanigans technically. He's like mean to everyone. He's like mean to Dan. He's like talks about how like life sucks and he's like addicted to pills and he was an alcoholic. Like it was just depressing. Like he was like a young guy. He was like optimistic about his future in the first one. He's like, you know what? I'm quitting this BS job. I'm gonna go do something. Anything besides this. Like, you know, like I thought he was gonna like find his passion or I don't know, just do something cool. But like in this, it's like that was one thing I didn't like. I didn't like that. That made me kind of sad because I was really rooting for him in the first one. But other than that, I didn't really have any problems with this movie. I'll just give like a quick plot synopsis. Just you know, I don't do that all the time. I haven't been doing that as much lately. But you know, basically they're at Shenanigans again. It's a different one. The manager, he's like a new manager. He wants to be there's like a district manager position uh, that's available. He wants to get that, but he has to make $9,000 in sales in one night. And the reason that's a struggle is because there's this restaurant next to them. It's like a Hooters type restaurant, and I mean, you know, they got like fine ladies there, so everyone's going there. So like business at Shenanigans isn't really booming like that. So he tells everyone that if they don't do 9,000 in sales that night, then they're all like then it's getting closed down. They're gonna lose their jobs, and like the Hooters type restaurant is run by Calvin, the dude who was scared to piss in the first one, but now he's like super charismatic because he watched this like pickup artist video and he gives it to the manager of Shenanigans, and yeah, basically you know the two restaurants are kind of competing, and Shenanigans, they're trying to go hard, they're trying to make 9,000 so they can like supposedly keep their jobs, but it's really just so the one guy can be district manager. So that's the basic plot. Let me go to my notes here. Oh yeah, the main dude, actually there wasn't even really a main dude. That's something that I want to talk about this too. There wasn't really a main character. The guy who I thought was going to be like the main character, like, or like one of the main characters, like I thought the character Agnew and the character Joshua were going to be like Justin Long and Ryan Reynolds characters, but they weren't. Like this movie really didn't have a main character, which was like it was whatever, cuz like I said, like the comedy was on point. It's just like a fun little movie. It's nothing too serious, so it didn't bother me, but I was like at first this guy Agnew, I thought he was going to be the main character, but just something I want to point out. I'm like, that's a dude from Stan Helsing. Like that movie, I would watch that back in the day, and I liked it. I got picked it up on Blu-ray at the library a couple years ago, and then I watched it again. You know, now that I'm like a little bit older, and I'm like, I wasn't really feeling it. I'm like, man, Stan Helsing, like this movie kind of sucks. But I used to watch that when I was younger. I really liked that like when I was younger, that one chick, she had like the chest going on, so I was like, I thought she was like mad fine. And then you had like Kenan Thompson on there, so and then it's like horror related. It's like all the main guys. You got like a Chucky ripoff, a Michael Myers ripoff, Jason ripoff. I think like Leatherface has like a leaf blower. Like I'll eventually probably probably do Stan Helsing on the channel. But yeah, I just thought that was cool that he was in here. Yeah, so, you know, a big thing in the first one was the whole game where they're, you know, showing their genitalia. They had a reference to that in this. So Radimus, the cook, he's working at the Hooters type restaurant, and basically he's like, there's like this new trainee there. It's like all the waitresses are female because, you know, it's like a Hooters type thing, and they're wearing like skimpy outfits or whatever. So he's like, oh yeah, like, do you know about this little game we play? And he's trying to like get them to, you know, show their lady parts, and he's like trying to get them into it. You never see that, and they never do it, but I liked the reference. That's like a lot of stuff in this movie. They don't like retread the same stuff, but they'll reference stuff from the first movie, which some people might hate that. I liked it. It was like, you know, a little bit of connective tissue. It's kind of annoying when movies do that too much, like remember this, remember that, and they like don't do anything new. But for this type of movie, I don't know, I thought it was fun, I enjoyed it, so, you know, that's that. Yeah, you got Andy Milonakis and the dude T-Dog in it again. I like those guys. I already said in my review of the first one, I'm a big Andy Milonakis fan. I think he's funny. I like his you know, his songs. I mean, dude, he's got 2 songs with Chief Keef. That's like the best. That's the best rapper of all time. Like, who doesn't like Chief Keef? Andy Milonakis has 2 songs. I mean, he's got Andy Milonakis. He has a song with Lil Yachty, dude. I mean, he's got all those songs with Riff Raff and Three Loco. Like, I mean, the dude. I mean, he's. I think he has a song with Lil B. I'm pretty sure. So I mean, like, and Andy Milonakis has been making moves. Like, honestly, like he can rap. You know, I like but it's funny because he like totally is himself. Like, he doesn't like try to be. I'm talking about in real life. He doesn't try to be like gangster, blah blah blah. Like, he's just like has the funniest punchlines. Like, cause he's like a funny dude. He'll just say like the most outlandish, like inappropriate stuff in his raps, and I absolutely love it. But in this one, like, so Andy Milonakis' character is Nick. So like Nick and T-Dog are in it again, but T-Dog doesn't want to be called T-Dog anymore. He just wants to be called Theo, and he's like not like a wannabe gangster anymore. And he's like, Nick, man, quit acting like that. Like, you're just faking, blah blah blah. So like Nick's going through like a whole identity crisis throughout the movie, but then like Bishop comes through, and he like has one of that's his whole thing. Bishop is kind of like, he's kind of wise, and he kind of like gives people like little life advice when they're like struggling with their identity, or like, yeah, just going through any personal crisis. And then Theo, like, he's not acting like a wannabe gangster the whole movie. Like, he's over it. But then like to Bishop, he hits him with the same line from the first one. I don't know exactly what it is. I'm just paraphrasing, but it was either like "shut up, Whitey" or like "screw you, Whitey," and then like Bishop just like smiles. He's like, "All right, he's back." So that was awesome because that was like one of my favorite lines in the first one. I thought that was hilarious. And then they do another, like, Andy Milonakis and the T-Dog guy. They do another music video, like in the end credits. I mean, so I watched the whole credits to see that. That was cool. Once again, talked a lot about a lot of this stuff on here. Yeah, and then so I only have a couple. I've pretty much talked about everything that I wrote down. Another thing, so I was talking about how the manager watched this like pickup artist tape. So that leads to like, there's like, it's like, get with the chick if she's drunk, or if she has like 3 cross tattoos or whatever. So he ends up like getting with Naomi, the Two-Faced chick. So that was kind of like a funny little thing, and it was cool to see him, you know, get that punani nani, because like he was just like all worked up about it the whole movie. He's like, man, I can't I can't get these females, I thought when I got promoted to manager, I'd be, getting the females, and that's why I gotta get district manager, yeah, because he watched that, he watched that pickup artist tape. He got that like that YouTube pickup artist game going on. Like they're just like, you just gotta be an a-hole, and that's what like Kelvin did. But then like some dude watched him like take a piss again, and he like lost all his mojo, and all these chicks just thought he was like mad crusty again. That's something that I thought too. I thought his like acting was good because like he totally pulled off like the charismatic vibe, but then once he's like his weird awkward self again, like it was like a total flip. I thought he like did a good job with that, and then all these chicks are like, they're just not feeling him. The one chick, the light skinned chick, she's in Frankenfish. She's in like the third Friday movie. What is that? Friday After Next. That girl's fine. The girl from Harold and Kumar Escape Guantanamo Bay. Like all the girls at the little Hooters type restaurant were like hecka fine. So I mean, I wasn't mad at that. There wasn't actually, yeah, there was one scene of nudity, and it was like Naomi, but it was like the most like apparent body double. Like they would like cut to her face, and they would cut to this like perfect body chick. Not that she had a bad body, but like this perfect body, like probably like porn star chick. And I don't know if it was like intentional, like for it to like so clearly be a body double, but I thought that was like, yeah, if it wasn't intentional, that was like really unintentionally funny because it was so obvious. But yeah, that, not that I don't like care that much about like nudity, but I mean if it's there, like I don't care. I just like watching movies, but I mean if it's there, I'm not complaining. But for the most part, I pretty much talked about everything that I wanted to talk about. I had a fun time with this movie. I liked all the references to the first one. You had a lot of familiar faces, and the main thing, okay, it's a comedy. It delivered. It was funny. I like the jokes. It's the same raunchy, kind of edgy humor. I like the restaurant setting. I used to work in food service for a hot minute, so like, it's like it's relatable. It was a fun time. Like, there's besides the Justin Long thing, there's nothing wrong with this movie. Like it was just a fun little movie. It was a good time. Nothing crazy. It's not some $80 million blockbuster. It's like it's a direct to DVD sequel, but I think if you're a fan of the first one, I think this is definitely worth checking out, and I think you'll probably have a good time. So that's all I have to say about Still Waiting. Thank you all very much for watching, and peace out.